Why is it?
Because it's like, what if he's actually...
Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche pregame show presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when you sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boosts every single day. AJ, Rudolph, Blais coming to you live as the Avs are taking on the Anaheim Ducks back in Colorado for the second game in a row. Matt Nieto joins the team. We'll talk about him in a little bit. Game notes for tonight. Pavel Francouz in net for the Avs. A whole bunch of changes and movers and shakers in the lineup, with Anton Blais sent down the other day, and obviously the trade of Martin Kaut. You have Dennis Morgan back in the lineup. You have...
Yeah, Dennis Morgan comes out of nowhere to be in this lineup. Like, right after they were, like, what? It was like a week after they were like, he's going to be missing.
Yeah.
I think it was, he's going to miss some time.
Yeah, it was like 2 to 4 weeks or something was the expected.
He in the lineup.
He's back in. You have obviously Nieto slotting back in. You have Cale Makar returning back in on the front or on the defensive end of this one. And then you also have Val Nichushkin out. We can start there. Val Nichushkin out with an upper body injury, officially not related to his ankle stuff and the stuff he'd been dealing with earlier in the year. So a little bit of a silver lining to that injury, but I mean, the Avs lineup is just a mess right now. How do they deal with this? Is this something you're even thinking about against a lesser team like Anaheim? Does it matter what the lines are, or do they just need to go out there and everyone just be better than Anaheim?
I mean, are they even thinking about it right now? It's just business as usual to this point of the season.
Not wrong.
It's like, there's nothing really different here. I mean, you know, the coaching staff and players have just had to adjust because the Avs just cannot stay healthy. Even the guys that you're getting back are playing short stints and going right back out. So, yeah, I think it's just business as usual. You just kind of figure out what lines you want to put out there against this team and just roll them. And hopefully, like you said, against a team that is struggling the way Anaheim's struggling, you sure would hope that they would be able to, you know, take advantage of this team.
At what point is it struggling, and at what point is it intentionally tanking, though? Because I think there's a little bit of both going on there in Anaheim, maybe.
What a hard struggle, right? From a player's perspective, like players don't want to tank, like they want to go out and show their worth, and obviously, like that's money.
You have a head coach that's like on his second chance,
yeah,
and it's like this is not going very well. I'm racking up a lot of losses again.
Meanwhile, the front office is like, come on, tank.
Yeah, the front office is like, you guys going on a winning streak. We're making moves.
Gotta get dudes out of here real fast. To your point, Blais, beyond the guys that are actively out of the lineup, we know EJ's a little bit banged up. He took maintenance day again today. Nathan McKinnon took a maintenance day today as well. Lots of guys just trying to limp across the line to get to that all-star break right now for Colorado. AJ, I know before the show, no excuses tonight. They got to win this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a team. We were just talking about it. We were cracking jokes and all, but they're not trying to win hockey games. Like, management's not trying to put the best lineup possible out on the ice. They're not trying to do what they can to win hockey games, and they haven't won very many of them. Your number one concern here is that John Gibson's in net. And while John Gibson has not been a very good NHL goaltender for 4 years, he's been very good against the Avalanche in particular. Even in that time in which Gibson has not been very good, for whatever reason, against the Avs, that dude shows out. He has a 929 save percentage in 20 games against the Avs.
It's pretty good.
Ridiculous. So, my concern is that you're going to get goalied in this game. It doesn't matter how well you play. You're going to have to get through a brick wall back there. And now you'd love to drop a 5 or 6 spot on him. You know, Cale Makar is back in your lineup. Great. But I'm uneasy about this game in ways that I didn't expect to be. And I'm sure this is just Chicago PTSD.
Probably. Don't let a bad team hang around, right? Get ahead, stay ahead, make it easy on yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're better than these guys. Your talent level, even with the injuries, with all this other stuff, you're better. Go out and just do work.
The official lines for tonight: Lehkonen, McKinnon, Rodriguez, line 1; Nieto, Comfer, Rantanen, line 2.
Jesus.
They keep the Cogliano, Newhook, O'Connor line together by doing this. Yeah. And then Myers and Mulligan are your 10th and 11th forwards, with McDermott and Englund both in, along with Hunt, to make it 70. Yeah. So not too big of a change. Essentially, Nieto just slots into Valnichushkin's spot. Mechanically,
honest question: would you just use McDermott at both spots every once in a while?
Yeah, just throw him out there for a forward shift.
Throw him out there for a 4th line shift, and then you throw him out there as part of your D rotation as well. Yeah,
I think that makes a lot of sense, actually. You know,
has Englund ever played forward? I mean, like, is there anything that says he can't?
I mean, that 4th line that plays 2.5 minutes per game. So
yeah,
I mean, is it better to do that, or is it better to throw JT Compher out there for an extra shift? You know, with Myers and Mulligan, you're just like, oh well. I don't know the answer either. I'm just spitballing with you guys.
Just ideas, just throwing out concepts.
Because it used to be like McKinnon was that dude. Like they would throw out twice. He would play with the 4th line every now and then as well.
Yeah, you'll still see it every once. I mean, he still has slipped in there.
I mean, realistically, I think you'll see a lot of moving pieces. I know Nieto is on the 2nd line officially, but especially for a guy playing his first game in this system, would not be surprised to see Newhook get random shifts up there, even O'Connor and Cogliano get random shifts up there with that 2nd line.
Yeah.
I would expect a little bit of chaos for sure.
I mean, are you talking about the Avs veteran player, Matt Nieto?
Think the systems have changed a touch since he was here, but you know, he's familiar. I'm sure he's familiar.
He knows the facilities. He knows the town.
Yeah, I mean, how easy is it for him? I mean, when you get traded, like one of the hardest things that players always talk about is
completely new surroundings,
the chaos of it, and then you're walking into something you don't know anything about this team. You don't know where to go. You don't know
the city. You don't know anything.
You're totally unfamiliar. And it's like, well, he was here for 3.5 years. That guy landed and was like, oh, God, this ride from the airport. Here we go. Like, rolls into the rink and is like, yep, I got this. I know how to do this.
Word on the street was he was shocked that there was no more rides in Lollipop Park. So
he hasn't been there yet.
Anyway, realistic expectations for Nieto. AJ, I know you and I talked about this a little bit the other night. Heading into game 1, it's just function, right? You're not asking him to do anything special. Yes?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it's weird that he's coming in and playing on their 2nd line, which is the same thing that happened when he first got claimed by them
long ago.
All those years ago. He showed up and was like, playing next to Matt Duchene tonight. And now it's like he shows up and it's like, playing next to Mikko Rantanen tonight. All right.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah.
Blais.
Yes, just function.
Blais, what are your expectations, since AJ and I have already talked about it? What can the Avs realistically get out of Nieto?
Well, hopefully a semi-defensively sound game from him. I think that's what you're looking for. On the offensive side of the puck, there's not going to be much there.
Probably true. Most Avs fans probably already know that.
Yeah.
Not that he doesn't generate chances. Just don't go in all that often. Nope. But who knows? Maybe he'll score a hat trick tonight now that I've said that. Anything's possible.
Let's hope.
I'm gonna pick your brain here a little bit, AJ, and we don't have to go too far into this since I know you have a lot planned. I've assumed you've done some research. Have you scoured Anaheim's lineup? Is there anyone doing a little bit of a performance tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think the guy that you're really keeping an eye on is Adam Henrique. For a myriad of reasons, and this is true of every guy that we're going to talk about with the Avs trade deadline stuff. Of course. There's pros and cons there. The pro is that he's playing great hockey. I mean, he's playing really, really well for them this year. The con is that you're not going to watch Adam Henrique and think, wow, that guy's really fast. At his age, and it's never really been
he's
his
never
game.
Been that kind of guy.
Yeah, he's never really been that kind of guy. So Henrique is kind of the guy if you're looking for which guy on this bottom feeder team that could get traded in the spring am I looking to jump off the ice and impress me? Adam Henrique would be the guy for Avs fans to keep an eye on. Obviously, the Trevor Zegras, Troy Terrys of the world, these guys aren't going
not
anywhere.
Getting traded. Yeah.
So, just enjoy watching them play because they're pretty good players.
Hopefully they do something cool.
Yeah, and Troy Terry finally just scored a goal the other day.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, he has. Since the start of December, he has
2
3 goals.
3 now?
It's 3 now.
Jeez.
So you are worried about him coming back home and getting right in front of the home crowd, and the family that's out. That's going to be.
And his friends, he's got that crew that rolls around and supports him. So
yeah. Even in Discord, we hear about Troy Terry every day. So,
traitors.
Watch, obviously, don't let that guy eat you up.
Lose to somebody else.
But Adam Henrique is the guy that I think you want to say. Keep an eye on that guy. Sure, any of the depth defensemen in theory,
of course. A 7th D is going to be on the menu for the Avs pretty much no matter what.
Yeah.
All right. Obviously, the big guy back for the Avs is Cale Makar. Should be back on power play 1. Should be right back into it fully. Where are we at with Cale right now for this team? Does he need to go out there and still be super Cale every night? Or can he get away with a middling game?
I mean, he's never. The thing with Makar is that when he comes back from injury, it's always slow.
Sure.
It's never been
he's not Mikko Rantanen where he gets 3 points on his return.
It's never been a thing that happened immediately. It's not super quick. So, for me, I just think it's just be healthy, man. Just play a good game. I'm not expecting him to go out and have a 3-point night. And if he does, they probably win.
I would hope so.
Yeah, especially with this big break coming up for the Avs. You just want him to basically play these last 2 games, come out healthy, no re-injury.
Yep.
I mean, right now, the Avs need to be looking at this break as a get right, hopefully get some things fixed, get some players, personnel back into the lineup.
Yeah, you don't want the Avs to get ahead of themselves here, but it'd be hard to blame anyone on this team right now if their mindset was, let's just get to the All-Star break. Yeah. Just get through these 2 games and kind of hit the reset button. We know they're expecting multiple defensemen to be back after the All-Star break. There's a whole lot of reasons for the Avs to just find a way to get through these 2 games.
But yeah, I mean, just one day at a time, one shift at a time. Focus on the job in front of you and worry about. I mean, it's the same thing we're doing.
Yeah,
I've
wrong.
never been more excited about an All-Star break in my entire life. But it's, we're here. We have a job to do. You got one day, one focus, one mission, one thing at a time. They have to do the same thing, and they can't worry about the winning streak or any of this. Look, they're chasing.
Yep.
They gave up their runway when they took the early part of January off.
Yeah, it's true.
That put them in a position where they have to chase.
Yeah.
And we talked about after the Chicago game, we said, look, there's 8 games left before the break.
And they're 6-0 so far.
Well, they need to go 6-2.
They've accomplished that.
But you're 6-2. One of the wins that we had was Anaheim.
Yep.
And so if you could go from a 6-2 to a 7-1 or even an 8-0, I mean, you're talking about now you're putting real pressure back on the teams in front of them.
Yep.
But also you need to put some separation on the teams that are chasing
Minnesota
you.
A little bit here.
And bury a St. Louis. Put these guys away.
Yeah.
Put Nashville and St. Louis where you're just like, look, it's going to take another 6-game losing streak for us to care about these guys in the standings again.
Yep.
And we're not doing one of those again.
I hope not.
You know, the Avs have the opportunity. Hey, they've put themselves in this position. They've won 6 in a row. You've got Anaheim right here. You've got 2 points that you really, really should go out and get. It's not a must-win game, but your job is a lot harder if you don't win these.
Yeah.
These are the easy ones. These are the quote-unquote easy ones. Obviously, it's the NHL. But
They're
these
easier than the hard ones.
well, like with Washington in town the other day, that's a much better hockey team than the Anaheim Ducks. Go out there and body these guys.
We've said it before. The Avs have one of the easiest schedules in the league on the second half of the
Yeah.
year here. That means nothing if you can't beat the teams you're supposed to beat.
Exactly.
Well, an easiest schedule though, but you do have that, Stanley Cup champs. So everybody
That's
comes,
true.
I mean,
They bring
everybody
their
gets up
best.
for those
Yep.
games, right? Like the players want to prove like we can beat this team. Even when you're Anaheim and you're a bottom dweller, you're gonna get up for this game.
Definitely a
just
fair
natural.
point.
Yeah. Well, and all these guys are just like competitors.
yeah.
Everything they do.
Becky Lynch once told me to be the man, you got to beat the man. So,
It's very true.
Blaze, make us some money tonight.
All right, let's get into it. Do we've got a graphic? I know we do.
We definitely do. Is it going to be too big? No, she
Oh,
even got
look
the
at that.
size right.
Perfect.
Oh my god.
Well, all that talk of
Figured out
Makar
how to do
starting
my
out
job.
slow, I'm going out with a power play point.
Yep. That feels like $3.
I mean, again, it's not Makar scoring, but it's him just helping out on the offense. Total,
Sure would be nice to see a power play tonight.
Yeah,
That's
that
true.
that would help that bet a little bit. You should get your bet back if they get no power play opportunities. like
literally,
honestly.
yeah, for sure. I was thinking about that last game too. Total goals, I think it's going to be a high scoring event just because of who the Avs are playing right now. I know you had a different take on it with goaltending, but I'm going to go with the over 6.5 goals.
I like the over to that.
Look, man,
I
this
don't
is
think
not a
Gibson's
logic brain
balling
thing.
out.
This is John Gibson bodies the
Oh,
Avs.
no, I hear you. I
Chicago's
get
in the back of my brain where I'm just like, I'm like prepared for horror tonight. Whereas I was not with Chicago. I was like, they're going to win this game.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
instant. This misery stops.
Yeah.
And instead, the misery spiked. So I am very much just bracing,
Protecting your
for the
heart on this
horror.
one a little.
Yep.
And I mean, Nate was pretty quiet last game. Feels like, this is one of those ones when you're producing over, is it over a point a game right now?
Yep.
Yeah. Then,
Oh my God. Yeah, it is.
yeah. So
It's well over.
it's like 1.5, isn't it?
Something
around
like
there?
that.
Yeah, he's on pace for a 100-point season, even with the missed games.
Yeah, there we go. So
So pretty good.
let's go with a goal. Anytime goal, plus 105.
Love it. If bets 1 and 3 hit, I think you got a decent chance at getting the middle one.
Yeah.
So
True.
until they hit on the same goal, but
I will say, this is my irrational Frankie nervous game.
I felt a little bit of that too today.
Where
yeah.
it was like, look, Francouz has been really good in most of
You're
the
just
games.
waiting
he's
for that
played.
letdown to come.
Well, and so I'm like,
yeah.
does the Detroit game count as a letdown? Where he started giving up softies
that
at
just
5-0.
didn't matter.
Yeah. We were just like, whatever, you don't care.
I think I was telling Blaze before the show. A little part of me feels like this could be like a 7-6 game tonight.
Yeah,
Like,
where it is like one of those like Pavel Francouz gets you the win. Then he also gets that world class goal support that
that's
has
just-
marked his
yeah.
entire career.
Yep.
Because they in reality here, the Avs have gotten wonderful goaltending
They really have.
for like
Absolutely.
2
Yeah.
weeks. So they're really kind of due for like
a stinker a little bit.
yeah. And so I'm kind of like bracing, like, oh God.
Well, the only way to know is to watch the game and figure it out that way. I will be doing a watch along for this one again because the Nuggets aren't scheduled at the same time for once in our lives. Thanks NHL and NBA schedulers for
Once,
that.
because Saturday.
Yeah,
we're right back to
even
it.
on the matinee, they're
Oh,
scheduled
really?
together.
They have a
Yeah.
matinee one
Yeah,
too?
it's
1 p.m.
brutal.
for both teams.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's great.
But if you wanna join me for the watch along, that would be greatly appreciated. If not, at least join us for the post game show. And I almost forgot, but when you are gambling on DraftKings Sportsbook, be sure that you're 21 or older Must be Colorado only. Other terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. See the show notes down below for details. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. All right. We're going to wrap up this pregame. We will see you at very least at postgame, I hope. Until 2 minutes from now or then. I'll talk to you in a little bit.